Hello again. Alright, this is part 2 of the Mandela Effect Explained. If you are new to this and you have not yet watched the part 1 episode that I did, then I highly recommend that you do that first. If you are familiar with this, like I am, then I take no offense to you moving on and watching something else because I don't want to bore you to death. I really don't. So, I'm just going to move on with this as quickly as I can because this is like my 10th time trying to do this because somebody keeps coming in here and I have to keep stopping. Okay. I'm going to go through a list of the most common examples and I'm just going to jump into it. Alright, the first one is Star Wars. The scene between Darth Vader and Luke right after their big battle when Luke discovers that Darth Vader is his father. What is that famous line? What do you remember?
The power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Okay. So is that what you remember? No, I am your father? Because that's not what I remember. I remember Luke, I am your father. Next one. In Forrest Gump, when Forrest is sitting on the bench, when he's talking to that nice lady and he's got the box of chocolates and he tells her what his mama always said. What was that famous line? Think about that. This one's a little quieter. I couldn't get it any louder.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
So, is that how you remember it? Life was like a box of chocolates. Because I remember life is like a box of chocolates. Next one. In Field of Dreams. He's walking through the field and he hears that, mysterious voice about how he needs to build it. Remember that line? Just try to envision that scene and think about what he says. Okay. Now he says, if you build it, he will come. I remember it as, if you build it, they will come. Next one. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. When he comes in, he's singing his happy song. God, I watched this all the time when I was a kid. And he's singing about how it's a beautiful day, yada, yada, yada. Think about the beginning of that song and how do you remember it going?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
I remember it as, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. He clearly says now, it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Okay, now enough with the movie clips. I'm going to go on to some products. Okay. I'm sure that you've that's not even a word. I'm sure that you have bought Febreze in the past. If you can picture the bottle, picture the label, picture when you buy it and it's sitting on your shelf. How are you seeing that it's spelled? Was it spelled like that? Like Febreze? I mean, I know it's got the little thingy over the top to, accentuate that the E would be like Febreze, but no, I remember it with two E's. how about Drano? Picture Drano. When you gotta unclog your pipes. How did that look to you? Did it look like that? The A with the slash over the top? I remember it Draino. And what about Fruit Loops? I specifically remember it a certain way. I almost said it. I gotta catch myself here. Picture the box. You just bought some. You're gonna eat some cereal. Is that how you remember it? Like with the O's, the double O's, the double O's? I remember it Fruit. Fruit, like the regular fruit. That looks weird to me. That just looks weird. Looney Tunes. I remember watching that when I was a kid. I remember Porky the Pig popping out of one of the letters. And I remember when I noticed the change. I can't remember when exactly that happened, but I remember looking at it going, what? That's not right. And do you remember it looking like this? Tunes as in like music? Because I remember it being like tunes as in, the second half of cartoons. Which totally makes sense considering when they came out with Tiny Toons, that's how they spelled it. Okay, how about, see, I can't actually say the word because it's going to give it away. Herbal, the shampoo, herbal, blah, blah. I don't know how to say it. But I remember it as, not as herbal essences. It was, to me, always herbal essence. Herbal essence. There's no need for that last S. Herbal essences? Herbal essences. I mean, I can keep saying that and it just sounds weirder and weirder. Okay, Vicks. How do you remember Vicks? The stuff that you put on your chest when you got a cold. Do you remember it like this? Vicks Vapo Rub. Because I certainly remember it as Vicks Vapor Rub. Vapor Rub. Not Vapo Rub. Okay, now we're just a few more, and then I'm stop boring you to death. Car logos. Volvo. Now, there are some that I am familiar with, and some, I'm just sort of iffy. I'm hoping that there's some big car people out there, and they're just going to know definitively that, whoa, this is so wrong. But okay, Volvo. How do you remember the Volvo logo? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Like that with the male sign? That's not from my reality. That's just weird. It's just weird. And then on the other spectrum, you've got Ford, which I'm not absolutely certain of, but every time I look at it, and I think about this with the male sign, and I look at Ford with this feminine thing going on here, that I just feel like that used to be poop. What's with the curly Q? I don't know. Is that how you remember it? Okay, and then what about VW? I don't remember this slash being in there. It was a solid. The slash is new and different. How about you? I mean, how does that look to you? And then I should have had this one earlier, but you remember the movie and the book. Okay, the book was by Anne Rice, and it was about vampires. Had Brad Pitt in it. Interview. How do you remember the name of that? Was it Interview with the Vampire? Because I certainly remember it as Interview with a Vampire. The is just not, that's not right. But, anyways, this video is kind of weird for me. I really didn't expect to make this video, and I really didn't expect to have to repeat myself 10 times. Thank God you guys didn't have to listen to me 10 times. Probably would have shot yourself. But, this is not just in digital form. It's not just online. You can go check your videos at home, the library, wherever. You can check your books, like the interview with a vampire. Sorry, I'm going to say it the way I remember. They've changed. It's not like somebody's messing with us online. The physical stuff in your home and elsewhere has also changed. Another thing too is that there's things with the countries that to me is really messed up. If you look at a map now, look at a globe now, I mean, South America is so far east. It used to be almost, not quite, but almost right below North America. Now it's like almost kissing Africa, which, yeah, that's just that's not right at all. And then you've got Italy, which I remember always, it's the boot, and it looked like it just kicked Sicily, and Sicily's flying away. Now Sicily is like almost touching Italy. And I know other people have mentioned other, parts of the world. I can't comment on that because, I'm not quite sure. But I will make another video because there is an important thing to comment about this is there's residual stuff with stuff that is either has just changed or changed recently. There are ways online that you can find like hints of residual, like leftover, let's say leftover junk, but it's not junk because it's our memories. And I will make another video when I can't be interrupted like 10 times and enjoy myself a little more. But I'll make a video about that and have some examples to show you. It's kind of like proof, little bits of proof that we're not losing our mind. I feel like, let's see, I think that was it, and I think I'm going to stop talking now because in my recording time I've been talking all night long, even though you guys haven't heard it. So, I hope that made sense. I hope I didn't bore you to death, and I thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and I will talk to you later. You guys have a good night.